In this video, you'll learn how to divide polynomials using synthetic division. So in synthetic division, we perform the division operation on polynomials when the divisor is a linear factor. So in dividing polynomials using synthetic division, we only take the coefficients of the polynomials and divide it by the zero of the linear factor. So what is zero of the linear factor? Say for example, our divisor is x minus a, and then we equate it to 0, and then whatever value of x that we get from here, then we will use that in our synthetic division operation. Yeah. So we add a to both sides. This cancels out. Then our 0 is equal to positive a. Now let's try solving this problem here. Okay, let's divide 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus x plus 26 divided by x minus 3. So our linear divisor here is x minus 3, and then we get the 0 of this linear factor. So we equate x minus 3 to 0. Then we get the value of x, which is 3. And then we take all of the coefficients of the polynomial here, dividend this one. All right. So our 0 is 3, and then we get the coefficients of the polynomial. So we have 6, 7, -1, and 26. In this case, there are no missing terms, so we don't have to fill in the missing terms with 0 coefficients, just like what we did in dividing polynomials using long division. And then our 0 is 3. Okay, first we bring down the first number, which is our first coefficient, which is 6, and then we multiply by 3. So 6 times 3 is 18, and then we add 7 plus 18, and that is 25, and 25 times 3, this is 75, and then -1 plus 75 is 74, and then 74 times 3, which is 222, and then 26 plus 222, this would give us 248. And now we already have our answers here. The bottom row here, this one, this part here, this is our quotient. So the quotient, the degree of the quotient is 1 less than that of the dividend. Our dividend has a degree of 3 here, or the highest exponent of our dividend is 3. Therefore, the quotient's exponent or degree is 3 minus 1, which is 2. And take note that the last number here is the remainder. And notice that we have a remainder here, which is equivalent to positive 248. So now we can write our quotient as 6x squared plus 25x plus 74, and our remainder is 248 over the divisor, which is x minus 3. So this is our answer here. Therefore, 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus x plus 26 divided by x minus 3 is just equivalent to 6x squared plus 25x plus 74 plus 248 over x minus 3. Now let's solve another problem. So we're given here 9x cubed minus 18x squared minus 16x plus 32 divided by x minus 2. Now let's find the 0 of our linear factor. linear divisor, which is x minus 2. We just equate that to 0. Therefore, our 0 is 2. So x is equal to 2. And then we get the coefficients of our dividend, which is this one. Okay. So it will be 9. There are no missing terms, so we can just copy directly the coefficients and no need to add terms with 0 as coefficients. So negative 18, negative 16, and 32. And then that is our linear factor. Right. So let's now divide or perform synthetic division. We bring down the first coefficient, which is 9, and then 9 times 2 is 18. And we add 18. Negative 18 plus 18 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Negative 16 plus 0 is negative 16. Negative 16 times 2 is negative 32. And 32 plus negative 32 is 0. So the remainder here is 0, or there's no remainder. And again, take note that the quotient is, the degree of the quotient is 1 less than that of the dividend. And our dividend here has a degree of 3, therefore the degree of the quotient is 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2. Now we can write our quotient as 9x, let me change the color, 9x squared, this is 0, plus 0, x minus 16, or we can just simply write this as 9x squared minus 16. Therefore, 9x cubed minus 18x squared minus 16x plus 32 divided by x minus 2 is just equivalent to 9x squared minus 16. Let's solve another problem here. So we're given x cubed plus 512 divided by x plus 8. So we get the 0 of our linear factor first, equate to 0. Our x is equal to negative 8. Okay, have you noticed here that the degree of our dividend is 3? We have x cubed, and there are missing terms. So we fill in those missing terms and write the coefficients as 0. Because we can write this as x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 512. So we can perform our synthetic division now. Okay, our coefficients are 1, 0, 0, 512, and then our 0 is negative 8. Okay, we bring down the first coefficient, which is 1, and then 1 times negative 8 is negative 8, and the 0 plus negative 8 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 8 is 64, and 0 plus 64 is 64. Then 64 times negative 8 is negative 512. Then 512 plus negative 512 is equal to 0. So that means there's no remainder for this one. And now we can write our quotient. The highest degree of our dividend is 3, therefore the quotient has a degree of 2. So this is just 1x squared, or just simply x squared, minus 8x plus 64. Therefore, x cubed plus 512 divided by x plus 8 is equivalent to x squared minus 8x plus 64.